Welcome to the post-race press conference for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East PittLite 125 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're joined by second place finisher Gray Galding. Gray is from Colonial Heights, Virginia. He drives the Krispy Kreme Chevrolet for owner Bob Newberry at NTS Motorsports and crew chief Ryan McKinney. This is Gray's second runner-up finish in the series, which is a series best for him. He has a NASCAR K&N Pro Series West win at Phoenix last November. He finished second last year at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. We're also joined by third place finisher Ben Rhodes from Louisville, Kentucky, driver of the Alpha Energy Solutions Chevrolet for car owner Steve Turner at Turner Scott Motorsports and crew chief Mark McFarland. Ben also equaled a career high series finish with a third place finish. He finished third last year at the June race in Iowa. Let's start with Gray. It was kind of got physical there a little bit at the end. Talk about your day.
I think it was pretty good. You know, we started off the race pretty decent. You know, we had to, we started on the bottom, so we had to pass a lot of cars on the bottom. So I felt like we did a good job coming up to the pack and being able to get on the front row on the restarts and got on the outside and was able to make some moves. But my Krispy Kreme Chevrolet was pretty decent. We just too tight, man. I was having to Kyle Busch it and really just overdrive every time but I felt like it worked out pretty decent. I felt like if we would have been a little bit better through the middle of the corner, I feel like we could have had a shot at winning. But great day overall. Can't thank Krispy Kreme Donuts enough. Trumu, Chevrolet, Wiley X, and Butler Built. It's good to come to Bristol and finish second, but you leave here wondering and thinking if you could have won. But good weekend overall, and I'm looking forward to coming back and later in the year to run the truck race and hopefully get a win there.
Let's shift over to Ben. Ben started from the pole, led a whole bunch of laps today. Kind of fell apart there at the end for you. Talk about your day.
Well, I think we had a really good car today. My Alpha Energy Solutions Chevy was really good. I just hate it for the guys. The car's all torn up, and we didn't come home with the win after leading most of the race. But, after that last restart, I knew something was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to be able to pull it off just because of the way I was being raced beforehand. But like I just said, I feel bad for the guys that they have to work on the car and get it all tuned up. But we'll be going to Greenville next weekend, and I know we'll have a good car there. We had a good test, so maybe we can pull off a win there.
All right, let's open up for questions for Gray and Ben. Go with Dustin.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Ben, the one restart where you originally lost the lead but got it because of the resetting the order, the contact, how much did that impact the car? And it looked like you had a left front fender, tire rub. Was that what ruined it for you at the end?
Yeah, that contact tightened up the car a little bit, aero-wise. So we weren't getting as much air on the left front, which hurt us a little bit. But once they sent me back there, I was lucky to save it. I felt like I was at a dirt track. I felt like Kyle Larson jumping the cushion and trying to save it as good as I could. But I think it hurt us a little bit for the next restart. We were definitely a little bit tighter.
Just the feelings. I mean, this looked to be your race until the end. Yeah,
I try not to expect the best. You know what I mean? I come into the race expecting the worst because you never know what will happen, and I don't want to be expecting to win and then something happens and then be all upset and lose my cool in the car. So I expect the worst, and when I don't win, I try not to get too upset. Everybody wants to win. That's what we're all here for.
But this is still frustrating, right?
Oh yeah, very frustrating.
Over here.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. For both of you, the nationwide race before yours, by the mid to late part of the race, the top groove was really working. But during the East race, it didn't seem like anybody wanted to tread all the way up. Y'all were staying about a groove below that. Is that just because the less power of the cars, you didn't need to have it wound up all the way up there, or was there just not as much grip for your tires up there?
I feel like for me, I think the nationwide kind of hurt us a little bit. Last year it made us freer, and this year it made us tighter. But yeah, like you said, we don't have as much horsepower as the nationwide cars, and I feel like I didn't really have to go up there as much. But I feel like if my car would have turned a little bit better in the middle, I could have ran it up further and been able to get on the gas quicker. That's the only place I felt like we struggled. But I was paying attention a lot to the nationwide race and seeing what those guys were doing. Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, tied in. You could just see where they're moving around and where you're able to pass cars. Like the last couple restarts, I was on the bottom, in which when when that wreck happened, when they got the 71 and 41 got a little sideways, I thought I was the leader. I came across first, but obviously I didn't. So I got back to third, and I was on the bottom. And you're just chatting to the tires down there, especially me, because I'm already tight. And in these cars, you have to really arc them out. You can't bind them up by putting so much wheel into it. But it's Bristol, and I love beating and banging. I felt like it was a lot of fun. I almost thought, when the 71 and the 41 got into it, I was right there on the back door waiting for it, and then I got it, and then they threw the caution. So it's okay. We'll just move on to the next one. But good guys did a great job, and can't wait for Greenville. I think we'll have a good piece there too.
I think running on the high side was best for us. I could get the most grip up there. The Nationwide guys, they really didn't affect me too much. I noticed all the rubber on the track as we were picking some up. I could feel the car change a lot under the cautions. Had to keep the tires cleaned up. Felt like we were either running low air pressures or the track bar was coming loose. But after I got used to that feeling and kept them cleaned up, the top side seemed to work the best for me. Not on short runs, but on long runs is when the car started coming in, and I got more and more grip. But later in the race, these guys pulled off a show on the bottom, and I tried running the bottom, but I just couldn't get no grip down there. I wish it was a long run there at the end, and I think we would have done a lot better.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Greg, can you talk about racing with Brendan a little bit? That was pretty cool to see the NTS cars running pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was actually really good. NTS Motorsports did a good job today, giving us two good pieces. But I feel like the 24, his car was a lot better than mine. I mean, he was able to pull down and almost pass me on the bottom. So glad he had a good car. Good to see him up front. But I just had to pull one off there and hopefully try to get a win. But it's good for NTS Motorsports, good for the confidence, good for the guys, and it's good to see teammates run up front and run side by side. And I just on the last restart he was beside me, so I didn't want to get too aggressive and do something stupid. But I was able to really drive in deep and try to get beside the 41 and do the best I could to be aggressive. But guys did a great job. Glad to bring a top 5 finish back to NTS Motorsports in Kernersville. I feel like we'll both have pretty decent pieces at Greenville. But I think the biggest thing, too, is the 24 was in a steel body and I was in a composite. So his was probably a little bit better on the high side, and you could just tell his was turning a whole lot better. So, but glad those guys had a good run, and I'm glad we finished second, too.
I think we'll do really good there. We've been strong so far this year. Turner Scott Motorsports has given me a great car, and all my teammates have had really good cars. We're all working together really well, so that's an advantage having four other teammates. So that's pretty cool working with all those guys. Went there and had a testing session, and we found some stuff, tried a lot of different things, and I'm really happy with our short track car. I'm excited to go to Greenville. I think we'll do really good. I really want to see what this car can do.
Yeah, same here. I feel like Greenville's pretty good. I think we get a pit stop too, and we're able to get some tires. So that's a big plus. I mean, you're a race car driver. You don't want to ride around for 135 laps, half throttle. I mean, that's just not fun. So glad that NASCAR made a change and giving us some tires. I feel like it's better for the fans. We're going to get after it. We'll bring the Krispy Kreme Chevrolet, and we haven't been able to test like these guys. And like Ben said, they have 4 guys to lead off of, and NTS has 2 teams. So good to try things out and see what's better. But like I said, I'm so happy that we're getting a pit stop at Greenville, because the tires are screaming after about 30 laps, and I'm already aggressive enough on the throttle. So I feel like it's going to be better for me. But I'm looking forward to growing Greenville. I love beating and banging. I love short track racing. So I think it'll fit right in with us.
Anything else? All right, one final note. Both Ben and Gray are members of the NASCAR Next program, and that spotlights young drivers in the sport that have the ability and potential to move forward. Don't know that yet.
Come on now.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
This is Eddie's 7th NASCAR K&N Pro Series East win in his career. With the win, he snaps a 53-race winless streak. His last victory was September 18th of 2009 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Eddie drives the Grimm Construction National Multiple Sclerosis Society Chevrolet. He's from Raleigh, Massachusetts. Car owner is Rob Grimm. Crew chief is Raleigh LaChance. Eddie, talk about your race today.
Yeah, the guys just gave me such a great car. Right from the drop of the green, the car was just handling perfect, and And we were just a little tight early on, and we figured we'd ride it out until that break, and we freed it up just a little bit, and it seemed like just enough. Like I said, right from the drop of the green, I was happy with the car, and we were just kind of riding, picking off a few cars here and there, and just trying not to kill the tires so we had something for the end.
Any questions for Eddie? Back here.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. Eddie, tires were obviously somewhat of a problem for a few of the guys out there today because a bunch of them tried to knock down the wall. And it seemed as though when it was time to go with 7 or 8 laps to go, when they finally dropped that final green, your car just exploded. Before that, were you actually just cruising that much that you were able to have that much more tire left than anybody else?
Yeah, I would say probably with 15 or 20 to go is when I started to push it a little bit, and then once I saw that I was keeping up with those guys running 3rd or 4th, I said the next restart I'm gonna have a chance to get this, and I feel awful for running into Ben Rhodes. I just drove it in a ton, and I had some rear brake in it from the last race, and we didn't really use any brake until that point, and when I drove it in hard, I jumped on the brakes and the back end came around, and I slid up into him. So I felt awful for getting into him, and kind of, I think he might have scraped the wall a little bit, but we with a drought like we've had, we wanted to get that win really bad, and just can't thank Rob Grimm and Carla for giving me this opportunity to drive for them.
Tim over here. Right there.
Yeah, Eddie, it's been 5 years since you last won. Honestly, in that last 5 years, series has changed a lot. You guys kind of from top dog to kind of underdog because of so many Cup and nationwide teams investing in the series. So as you guys continue to race on the same budget, why do you guys still race here? Is today's like today kind of validate that, or what are you getting out of staying in the K&N series?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. We, as a team, we kind of were evaluating that ourselves. We were really contemplating on, possibly not doing, some of the smaller tracks like Greenville and Bowman Gray, and we're going to just pick the bigger tracks because we usually excel on those. So that's going in today. We didn't know if we were going to Greenville or not, and I'm still not quite sure. So, but that's exactly, we were talking about the same thing, having the bad runs down in Florida. So we ended up building a new car, so that's kind of changing our team around a little bit.
You've won some pretty big races before. Oxford 250 comes to mind, a few other big races in the Northeast. Where does this fit on your general resume for you as of this moment?
Yeah, this is great. I've always wanted to win here and Dover. I wanted to win somewhere in the South. I've always won the northern races, so to win in the South is excellent, and Bristol is just, it's the best one you can get.
Anything else? I have one more quick one. As a veteran in the series and racing with a lot of rookies and young kids, do you feel like a father figure out there for some of those guys, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. These kids are just so young. It amazes me that that they're racing these cars when I started racing in full-size cars. So to just roll out in these Turner cars or some of the other cars out there and just take right off, it's unbelievable. So I praise them. They do a great job, and they run hard every lap. So it hurts a little more when they beat you, though. So this one was nice.
All right. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.